when this began. I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me. I was confused, and I let it all out, find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind. But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel. Just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is mine. And I've got nothing to say, I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face. I was confused, looking everywhere, only to find that it's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind. So what do I have but negativity? Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own. When this began, I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me. I was confused, and I let it all out, find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind. But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel. Just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is mine. And I've got nothing to say, I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face. I was confused, looking everywhere, only to find that it's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind. So what do I have but negativity? Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own. When this began, I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me. I was confused, and I let it all out, find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind. But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel. Just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is mine. And I've got nothing to say, I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face. I was confused, looking everywhere, only to find that it's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind. So what do I have but negativity? Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is
Here and doing this for me is really fulfilling, and it's really an accomplishment, just to kind of get over my own anxiety about doing it again. And I'm really in debt. One thing that I've been hearing quite a bit is how some of you guys are going through some things, and how the connection to the music helps you get through it. With that said, I know that there are some people out there who, myself, I want to come to own stuff that has nothing to do with us, hopefully by coming. I want you guys to sing it so loud that Chester can hear you. Are you ready to do that?
This next song I'm gonna sing is a song that I wrote 2 years ago in Germany. It's the first song that I've ever written. It's a ballad, and I hope you guys like it.
when this began. I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me. I was confused, and I let it all out, find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind. But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel. Just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is mine. And
Trice, real name, no gimmicks.
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Two trailer park girls go round hustle no more, they want shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table while he's operating. Hey! You waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me. So come on and dip, bum on your lips, fuck that, come on your lips and some on your tits and get ready, cause this shit's about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits, fuck you, Devin. Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. Little hellions, kids feeling rebellious, embarrassed, the parents still listen to Elvis. They start feeling like prisoners helpless, till someone comes along on a mission and yells, bitch! A visionary, vision is scary, can start a revolution, polluting the airwaves, a rebel. So just let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my ass, and it's a disaster, such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my ass. You ask for me? Well, I'm back. Fix your minutes and I'm tuning in and I'm gonna enter in and up under your skin like a splinter. The center of attention, back for the winner, I'm interesting. The best things in wrestling, investing in your kids' ears and nesting. Testing, attention please. Feel the tension, soon as someone mentions me. Here's my 10 cents, my 2 cents is free. A nuisance, who sent? You sent for me? Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I just get a tasket, I go tit for tat with anybody who's talking this shit, that shit. Chris Kirkpatrick, you can get your ass kicked worse than them little Limp Bizkit bastards. And Moby, you can get stomped by Obi. You 36-year-old boy-headed fag blow me. You don't know me, you're too old, let go, it's over. Nobody listen to techno, now let's go. Just give me the signal, I'll be there with a whole list full of new insults. I've been dope, suspenseful with a pencil ever since Prince turned himself into a symbol. But sometimes the shit just seems everybody only wants to discuss me. So this must mean I'm disgusting, but it's just me, I'm just obscene. Though I'm not the first king of controversy, I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley to do black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Hey, there's a concept that works. 20 million other white rappers emerge, but no matter how many fish in the sea, it'll be so empty without me. Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
We're introducing 3 revolutionary products. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, 3 things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. A giant screen. Now, how are we going to communicate this? We don't want to carry around a mouse, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus? We're going to use the best pointing device in the world. We're going to use a pointing device that we're all born with. We're born with 10 of them. We're going to use our fingers. It's got a 3.5-inch screen on it. It's really big. And it's the highest resolution screen we've ever shipped. It's 160 pixels per inch. Highest we've ever shipped. It's gorgeous. And on the front, there's only one button down there. We call it the home button. It takes you home from wherever you are. And that's it. Let's look at the back. On the back, the biggest thing of note is we got a 2-megapixel camera built right in. The iPhone in 2007. We're very excited about this.
Howdy everybody, Chaz here, and here in Texas we have a completely different way of talking. You might say we have our own language, as a matter of fact, so it's confusing to a lot of people that come down here from Texas from the north. So I wanted to help you guys out and give you 10 phrases that only make sense to people from Texas. Here's the first one, fixin' to. You've heard this one many times. Basically it's used when we're about to do something. Hey y'all, I'm fixing to go to the beer store. Y'all want anything? That's fixin'. Number 2, all hat and no cattle. Basically, this describes somebody that talks this big game but just can't back it up. It also could go along with all bark and no bite, that phrase there. Don't worry about that dude. He's all hat and no cattle. There's the second one. Third one, might could. Well, might could is just simply saying we're able to do something. I'm fixing to do some work on my truck, but I might could help you move this weekend. Number 4, I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw him. Basically, you just don't trust the dude. That dude lies all the time. I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw him. Alright, going on to the next one. Y'all. That's probably one of the most popular ones here in Texas. Basically, it's a contraction of you and all. And here in Texas, we refer to several people when we say y'all. Like, for instance, what kind of beer y'all want at the store? Y'all. Alright, going on here. If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Now here in Texas, it could change at any moment in time. It could snow 1 minute and then the next minute it's 70 degrees outside. So here in Texas, we use it to say, hey, you know, if you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes. It'll change. Promise you that, that's for sure. Alright, here's another one. Do what? Now this phrase is used if we didn't hear what you said, or if we're surprised about something. For instance, you hear about Bobby Sue getting fired for drinking on the job again? Do what? Yeah. Or, hey Billy, hand me that 3/16 socket wrench, will you? Do what? Do what? There you go. What kind of Coke do you want? Is the next one. Yes, here in Texas, we refer to just about every single soda you can imagine as a Coke. Hey, I'm going down to the store to get a Coke. There you go. Simple enough. Alright, this one right here, hold my beer and watch this. Now, if you hear this phrase, this is we're about to do something really stupid or epic or both. I'm fixing to jump them trash cans over there. Here, hold my beer, watch this. There you go. And the last one, used to could. Now, this phrase is used to talk about something physical or mental that someone, you know, could do in the past, but we can't do, you know, now. I used to could be able to drink a whole 12-pack, but now I can't. Those are 10 phrases that only make sense to people right here in Texas, and now you know.
You're not supposed to film this. Okay. So I always like to start just with the basic, kind of rub down to the neck to figure out where all the tension is. a lot of people that are sitting at desks all day, which are the people, 90% of the people that we work on, they're going to have tension in their traps. They're going to have tension in their levators, which are right here, and they're also going to have tension in the clavicle muscles and up in the mastoid, which is the jaw muscle. So that's why I like to have people sitting up rather than leaning forward to do their neck muscle, because then you have full access to the muscles in the front as well, where if they're leaning forward, those muscles are kind of blocked for you. So I usually just start up in here. As always, let me know if the pressure's too much. Okay. And it helps a lot if you pull the shoulder back while you're working on it, because it helps to release a little bit of the tension and a little bit of the pull. And you just kind of come in and get a feel for where the tension is, get a feel for where the knots are. And once you figure out where the knots are, you can kind of get into the individualized knots, grab a hold of them, put pressure on them until they go away. I also like to support the head with one side and stretch it with my thumb. Put my thumb up under the skull, stretch the neck down. As I'm stretching the neck, I'm massaging the muscles with the other side. You can do that with your fingertips. You can also do it with your knuckles. And then you just switch hands and do it on the other side. One of the biggest things to remember with the neck is symmetry. Whatever you do on one side, you need to do on the other, or else you're going to leave them feeling grossly unbalanced, and they'll kind of feel like their neck is pulling one direction. The suboccipital muscles, which are the 8 little muscles up underneath the skull, it's absolutely crucial that you work on those. A lot of people will stand in front of their clients and pull on the base of the skull. That's a great way to release the tension in those. And a lot of times I'll just move their head so that their movement is what's providing a lot of the pressure. So you're not wearing yourself out. You're not wearing your fingers out. And then up in here, right by the collarbone, there's muscles that attach right there. A lot of people that complain of headaches, this is going to be a major spot for headaches. Just push and stretch. Right below the jawbone, follow the muscle fibers down. Always make sure that you communicate with your clients, make sure that they're comfortable with what you're doing. And then the jawbone is prone to a lot of trigger points. So it's always good. There's lots of people that clench their jaws when they're working on a computer, lifting weights at the gym, sleeping, that don't even know that they do it. So they don't even realize that there's tension in their jaw. And that will help release a lot of the tension that's caused in the neck as well, in the neck and head. Now, where we do corporate massage, I don't very often work on the head because a lot of people are going back to work and they don't want to walk out with their hair all crazy. But I will ask, especially if they've mentioned if they've had headaches, I will ask if they want me to work on their head. And if they do, the temporalis muscle, which is right in here, is always a great place to start. And you can get underneath their hair and do it without messing up their hair too much. Just small circular strokes. Just apply your pressure with the pads of your fingers. And do small circular strokes. Some people do not like head massages, so always get permission before you work on them. Unless you're poor Brooke, and then I just make you do it.
Yeah, it's okay you work in my head, by the way.
When this began, I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me. I was confused, and I let it all out to find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind. But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only
like to start just with the basic kind of rub down of the neck to figure out where all the tension is. A lot of people that are sitting at desks all day, which are the people, 90% of the people that we work on, they're going to have tension in their traps. They're going to have tension in their levators, which are right here, and they're also going to have tension in the clavicle muscles and up in the mastoid, which is the jaw muscle. So that's why I like to have people sitting up rather than leaning forward to do their neck muscle, because then you have full access to the muscles in the front as well, where if they're leaning forward, those muscles are kind of blocked for you. So I usually just start up in here. As always, let me know if the pressure's too much. Okay. And it helps a lot if you pull the shoulder back while you're working on it, because it helps to release a little bit of the tension and a little bit of the pull. And you just kind of come in and get a feel for where the tension is, get a feel for where the knots are. And once you figure out where the knots are, you can kind of get into the individualized knots, grab a hold of them, put pressure on them until they go away. I also like to support the head with one side and stretch it with my thumb. Put my thumb up under the skull, stretch the neck down. As I'm stretching the neck, I'm massaging the muscles with the other side. You can do that with your fingertips. You can also do it with your knuckles. And then you just switch hands and do it on the other side. One of the biggest things to remember with the neck is symmetry. Whatever you do on one side, you need to do on the other, or else you're going to leave them feeling grossly unbalanced, and they'll kind of feel like their neck is pulling one direction. The suboccipital muscles, which are the 8 little muscles up underneath the skull, it's absolutely crucial that you work on those. A lot of people will stand in front of their clients and pull on the base of the skull. That's a great way to release the tension in those. And a lot of times I'll just move their head so that their movement is what's providing a lot of the pressure. So you're not wearing yourself out. You're not wearing your fingers out. And then up in here, right by the collarbone, there's muscles that attach right there. A lot of people that complain of headaches, this is going to be a major spot for headaches. Just push and stretch. Right below the jawbone, follow the muscle fibers down. Always make sure that you communicate with your clients, make sure that they're comfortable with what you're doing. And then the jawbone is prone to a lot of trigger points. So it's always good. There's lots of people that clench their jaws when they're working on a computer, lifting weights at the gym, sleeping, that don't even know that they do it, so they don't even realize that there's tension in their jaw. And that will help release a lot of the tension that's caused in the neck as well, in the neck and head. Now, where we do corporate massage, I don't very often work on the head because a lot of people are going back to work and they don't want to walk out with their hair all crazy. But I will ask, especially if they've mentioned if they've had headaches, I will ask if they want me to work on their head. And if they do, the temporalis muscle, which is right in here, is always a great place to start. And you can get underneath their hair and do it without messing up their hair too much. Just small circular strokes. Just apply your pressure with the pads of your fingers. And do small circular strokes. Some people do not like head massages, so always get permission before you work on them. Unless you're poor Brooke, and then I just make you do it.
Yeah, it's okay. You work in my head, by the way.
Anyway,
You go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, so this tutorial is going to be on rib release. It's a big thing that clients are very impressed with. So, and it's super easy, and it's going to be kind of a quick training. So, if anyone else has techniques on rib release, please feel free to share afterwards. So, typically when you get a client and you do that first verbal assessment and you ask where they have restrictions, more often than not, somebody's not going to typically come in and say, oh, this rib, I think I have a rib out or something like that. That's not what they assume is going on. So the symptoms that somebody might have is painful, sharp pain while breathing, sharp pain near the spine while moving their arms around, or limited mobility in their neck, painful movement of the neck. Those are common symptoms for rib restrictions, but they're not the only ones. There can be many others. So the way I start most of my sessions, just because this kind of addresses a wide range of restrictions, I always start with my forearms on either side of the spine, right in the belly of the erector spinae group. And if I knew my chair better, I would have raised this a little because it's a little short.
We can.
But we're good. Okay, so I have my forearms on either side of the spine, and I just wait for her breath. If your client is breathing kind of shallow and you don't feel it, you can call for breath. But I just wait, and I'm feeling where the breath is moving. Is it moving up towards her head? Is it moving down her spine? Is it moving sideways? And where is it not moving? Is it in one side of her spine but not the other? So I'll wait until I make that assessment. Takes maybe 2 to 3 breath cycles. So in Janelle, she has pretty good breath, but I'm gonna guess, because of the limited motion of her breath, that there's more restriction on this side. So then I'll do some compressions down the spine, and right now I'm feeling for a rib restriction. Now what you might feel is, so ribs, they lay generally pretty flat like this, and then when you breathe, they move like the Venetian blinds, like this, up and down. So if a rib is stuck, it's gonna be sideways like this, and you might feel a sharp edge similar to the blade of your forearm. It's gonna feel kind of predominant comparative to the other ribs, and you're gonna feel a sharpness, like an edge. So what I do if I find a rib, and I'm not finding anything particular on Janelle, but I'm gonna pretend. So I'll find that little sharp piece of rib, and then I'll give it a spring test. So a spring test is not like a bounce like this, and it's not anything where you'd see your client move. So it's not that either. Sorry, Janelle.
It's all right.
So what it is just a little bit of weight in and then a back off. And what I'm trying to feel for is, does this rib spring? Does it move? And if it does, you can test the one above it or below it just to compare. Is it moving? Is it not moving? Is it moving just as well? And so if you determine, yeah, that rib doesn't move as good as the one above and below it. So then I would ask my client, is this a tender spot for you? Does this have a quality to it? And more often than not, they're gonna be like, before you even ask, while you're pushing, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that hurts, that's a good spot. Or their answer could be, no, I don't feel anything. So if a rib isn't painful and it's just in this position, then more than likely it's not stuck, it's just in this position and it just moves differently. And if that's the case, don't worry about it. We don't care if things are nice and flat and pretty, we just care if they're moving. Okay, because movement is medicine. So we don't want to just like jam her rib back into a spot where it's not used to. So she's like, yes, there's pain, and you can determine it's not moving. So the next thing to intervene is, so you want to determine, is it stuck open or is it stuck closed? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be stuck open, but either way, you have a 50-50 chance of guessing. I can go over a whole spiel of how you can really determine, but in a chair massage, you don't have really that much time to do that much of an assessment, and the client is gonna be like, stop assessing me, just massage me. So a quick intervention for this is you would take the client's arm and you would place it on your own leg like this, and you say, just let your arm be heavy right here. So you just want their arm to line up with their side, okay? Doesn't really matter of the position, rotation. I prefer elbow out, but that's just me. And then I'll find that restriction again, and I can either use fingertips or elbow, and you don't want to do this. I'm doing this for camera. You want to be more here or here, just whatever your body mechanics likes to do. So I'm on this rib, and I'm giving it just some pressure, and then I'll instruct my client, Janelle, I want you to take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, I want you to blow out your birthday candles and reach down to the floor with your arm. And that's going to compress the ribs closed. And now take a breath in, and then you're going to encourage the opening of the rib, and then do one more of those. Out, reach, 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 reach. More breath out, and breathe. And rest. And you can shake out her arm and put it back, and then reassess. Like, is it still there? Is it moving? How does that feel now, Janelle? Does it feel amazing that your rib that wasn't stuck is now unstuck?
It feels amazing.
Good. Okay, so that's a quick intervention for it. Now, if the rib was stuck closed, so let's say you did that and it didn't work, like, oh no, it still hurts and it's still not moving, so you could do another intervention where you place the client's arm above their head like this. Now, only do this if their shoulders are happy and healthy, and you'll learn that in your verbal intake. So you've got it this way, and you'll take your client's hand like this just as a support, and then you'll say shallow breath in, and big breath out, and big breath in, and then you'll just apply some pressure, and then rest. That one doesn't happen very often. More often than not, they're closed, they're stuck open. But that's how you would do a stuck closed rib. Okay? So those are the two main interventions, quick interventions for a chair massage for a rib. Now for the first rib. So you'll have your client sit up and place their hands on the chest rest for support. The first rib is when a client feels like they have a stiff neck, they can't move it very well, and when they do, it's painful. So the first thing that you want to look at is the trap area, and is one higher than the other. So you'd kind of eyeball and assess, be like, it's a little higher than the other. Now if somebody has a rib that's like up here, then that's not your scope of practice, okay? That's actually something like a cervical rib or something like that. But if it's just slightly above, then what you want to do is instruct your client to do a shoulder roll, move your shoulders up and back, and rest your scapulas or shoulder blades on your spine there, your rib cage. And let your scapulas just kind of melt down your back. Good. And now I've got her traps, and I'm just kind of peeling them back. And I might do a little finger compression, grab those traps, and peel them back. Okay. And then walk your fingers a little bit forward, and now you're gonna feel those first ribs. So I'm doing just a little spring test side to side, and her first rib is awesome. They're both springy, they're both happy, healthy first ribs. But if there was one that was stuck, one would be bouncy and one would be not bouncy. And that means it's a stuck first rib. So that first rib, if it's higher, scalenes could be pulling it up, right? So some scalene work, soften the scalenes, but again, you want to be really gentle. You don't want to mash on these things because there's that big bundle of nerves back here called the brachial plexus, okay? And nerves do not like to be mashed on. They like to be treated nice. So you'll do some of your own scalene work, get that all done, and once you've assessed those scalenes and gotten them nice and soft, you can either, depending on who you are and who your client is, you can get back on that rib with some finger pressure, or you can drop an elbow, but if you do, make sure that it's gentle, and keep in mind that the harder you press, the less you're gonna feel, and you need to feel this rib move. So I'll instruct Janelle, or your client, to tuck your chin into your chest, give yourself a double chin, and now let your eyeballs fall down to your lap, and your head to fall down a little bit more, good. And now let your eyes rotate your head to look at your knee on the same side. There you go. And then just kind of hang out. I felt her rib move. I can apply a tiny bit pressure. How's the pressure, Danelle? Is that okay? And then move your eyes back to your lap and bring your eyes back up to horizon. There you go. And then reassess. Yeah, now we got we got more movement in there. If you got, some movement or not as much movement, the next thing you can do, same thing, peel the traps backwards, get an elbow on there, tuck your chin into your chest, or give yourself a double chin, is that the same thing? And then let your head fall down towards your lap, and then let your opposite ear go to your opposite to the shoulder. Sorry, side bend your neck. There you go. Okay, so this is awesome. So your clients are going to be like, what? What are you saying? So you can even say, all right, so just down at your lap, side bend to your shoulder, okay? And you got to keep your head down the whole time, rather than looking up. Okay, so let's start over. Get your elbow in there, tuck your chin, eyes down, ear to shoulder, and that's a stretch. And then eyes back to lap, and then up to horizon. Ooh, we got a pop. That was awesome. That was good, right? And I was like, how much pressure was I using?
Not a lot.
Like none,
no,
right?
Like medium pressure.
Yeah. And then I say something cute like, chiropractic adjustments are free. No, don't say that. Just don't say that.
Oh, I have this knot in my neck right there. No.
Yeah, let me just get that for you. Okay, so that's rib release.
Cool.
That's all there is to it. My name is Brooke. I'm the training manager at Incorporate Massage, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about working weight of your massage equipment, specifically your chair. So the working weight of the chair is something that you need to pay attention to so that you can maintain the longevity and the quality of your chair to avoid having to purchase a new one in the future, near future, or avoid any potential hazardous accidents along the way. Because our chairs get a lot of wear and tear, right? So investing in a really good chair is really important. And there's a few things that you got to consider when you're looking for a chair. And most of you already, all of you already have chairs, right? But does anybody know the working weight of your chair? Anybody?
I think mine's like 300 pounds.
300 pounds is pretty typical. But if you don't know, you need to find out, okay? So there's a few different words that I'm going to discuss today. One's working weight, one's static weight, and then there's drop weight. So there's all different types of weight. Does anybody know the difference between static weight and working weight? Okay, so static weight is like it's static, not moving, right? It stays the same. So basically I weigh this much when I'm just standing still versus I weigh this much when I'm moving around, okay? So every chair has a static weight and a working weight, and in chairs, the static weight is double what your working weight is. So the good news is that you will never have to refuse service to anybody, because if your working weight is say 250 and that's the low end, your static weight means you can work on somebody who's at least 500 pounds, okay? So that's awesome. So there's no need to refuse service for anybody who might be that big, okay? Because there's no good way to do it. I was racking my brains thinking of what's a really nice way of saying you can't sit in my chair, and there just isn't one. So you don't have to do that at all. So it's just the concept that when you're working on someone, they weigh more while they're moving versus when they're just sitting still. So if you have somebody who seems as if they might exceed the working weight of your chair, so if your chair is less than 300 pounds, that can present a little bit more of a problem than if your chair is over 300 pounds. So getting to know your chair is really important, and I do have a graph if you guys have any questions. Rachel was nice enough to put this together for me, so let me know if you just have the brand of your chair. I can tell you what your working weight is. Okay, so when you have a client in your chair, one thing that you really need to do is instruct them how to get in the chair. So sometimes people ask the question, Like, have you ever had a chair massage before? And then that leads you into maybe you need to give them instruction. I say always give them instruction. It doesn't matter. Don't even ask that question. Just say, okay, so to sit in the chair, keywords to say and enunciate are slowly and carefully, because somebody sitting in the chair like this is going to weigh a lot less than the same size person going, right? So that just means that I weigh more because I was applying more movement versus if I was being really slow. Also, if somebody sits on your chair, putting all their weight on one joint and then moving over like this is also a very unsafe way to get in someone's chair, and that being done over and over and over, especially by people who are really excited to get into your chair and get their massage, is going to wear down your chair really fast and cause the joints to break. And by joints, I mean hinges and certain parts. Okay, so when you're instructing somebody to get in your chair, I keep all of the little hinges unlocked and down, and you will do whatever is best according to your chair. Let's see if I can find them all. Okay, so everything is unlocked and in its lowest position. So the lower to the ground, the closer to the base it is, the more weight it can take. So I stand in front of my chair like this, kind of shielding it, like, don't sit in it yet, I'm not done talking to you. So while I'm doing my verbal intake, I'll ask them where their injuries are, where they want me to focus, and then I'll say, okay, so when you sit down, just sit down really slow and careful. Use 2 hands on the chest piece, and my chest piece is down here. It's not up in this more compromised position, right? So your chest piece is down here. Use 2 hands, straddle the seat, and then just carefully, slowly sit down, and then place your knees one at a time on the knee pads. So emphasizing the slow and the careful and demonstrating for them will be the best thing. And then I have them lift the chest piece, place it where they want it, and then I lock it into place, and then same with the base rest, okay? They'll hold it in place, I'll lock it where they want it to be. And that will ensure your chair is safe upon entry. And now when the person is in the chair, like I said, they weigh the least amount when they're sitting still. So the type of massage that you want to do if the client might be exceeding the chair's working weight capacity is slow, don't move your client around, and don't apply a lot of pressure. If your client is to the size where you think that they might be exceeding the working weight, a really good thing to do, if your chair allows, is remove the knee pads. Like, don't even ask. Just, you're setting up your chair for them, just remove them, set them to the side, and then tell them to sit down. No questions asked, right? It's gonna be more comfortable for them anyway. But if it doesn't allow, then you will instruct them. It might be a comfortable option to place your feet flat on the floor. So if their feet are flat on the floor, they're also taking a lot of that weight off of the base, okay? So that helps. And then when you're working on them, you can also instruct them to press their feet into the floor, again, lifting their weight up off your chair if they need more pressure. So I would say something like, if at any point you need more pressure, just press your feet into the floor, and that will put some pressure into my touch. And they can just use that pressure to get whatever type of pressure they want. And you don't have to apply any. So you're also working less, and you're not applying extra weight to your chair, okay? And that's basically it. Just don't move them around. So, you know, when you've got your client and you're doing compressions up and down the spine, just don't do that where you can see your client bouncing. Do it nice and slow, maybe more strokes than compressions, more petrissage, maybe friction, but just lay off the pressure and just say, you know, this person doesn't need any pressure, and if they do, they'll apply it themselves, and it won't be applied to my chair. So that is the basic working weight technique to maintain, to keep your chair in good working condition. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Hi, I'm Brooke, training manager at Incorporate Massage. Today we are going to do a tutorial on tension headaches. Tension headaches are a very big thing in the corporate world, and chair massage is the perfect way to work on them because the client is upright rather than face down in a face cradle. So it doesn't take long and you're gonna get really good results. So I believe that the tension headache issue is mainly caused by a forward head posture and then kind of looking down your nose and out your chin, kind of a stare. And then you're staring at something pretty close in front of you. So not only are your eyes kind of strained, but so is the front of your neck, because these muscles are not weight-bearing muscles. So you're gonna get a lot of tension in the back, but the things that are overworked and need some work is all this in front. So I'm gonna demonstrate on how to do that. So first you gotta know how to seat your client in the chair properly if they come in for a tension headache, and you're gonna find that out in your verbal intake. So Kristen is going to be my client. It is Kristen, right? I just said Christine, I'm sorry. So Kristen, I knew Palmer. So Christine is coming to me and I'm going to say, is there anything I can work on for you today? And then she's going to say, oh, I have this tension headache. And tension headaches, they generally feel it on the back of their heads here, like right below their skull at their occiput. So if she says she has a headache, I would ask her, where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your eyes? Do you feel it, you know? So she'll point to it, and if it's right, if it's in back, that is something that we can definitely work on. That's the tension headache. If it's in front, that's a different story. So we're gonna talk about we feel it in the back. So go ahead and have a seat. And this chest piece, it moves up and down, in and out, so just take it with 2 hands and then just put it where you want it. And I will lock it into place. You're probably gonna need to scoot it down just a little bit more. There you go. And then same with the headrest. So with the headrest, you want to instruct them to look at their knees rather than look at the horizon. So you demonstrate looking straight ahead of you, what that would look like. So kind of look straight ahead of you and then put your head down. So your chin into, a lot of times people put their chin into the headrest, so they're kind of looking, sorry, do it right, like that. So they're kind of looking forward and then their chins jut out of the chin rest. So they're kind of like this. And then that gives a weird crease in the back of their neck. So you want to make sure that their head is nice and level. So what I tell them to do is, okay, sit back up, is make sure your eyes are facing your knees and place your face in the face rest so that they are looking completely down. That's going to give you a nice round surface area to work on. Lock it into place. So it's secure and armrest, and we're ready to go. Okay. So along with that forward head posture, the upper back spine curves a lot. So I like to do a classic spine walk with my thumbs. Starting on whichever end, the top or the bottom, you're gonna go from top to bottom, bottom to top, however you wanna start. But to start the massage, I might soften up the erector spinae group on either side, call for some breath. Breathe into my hands, breathe into my palms. Cues like that will help your client to kind of have their own little mini breath meditation. Find their spine, and then you're going to find the grooves away from the process. And you're just going to walk one thumb at a time. Now the trick to this is you want your elbow joints to be pointing out, not in, and you want them to be soft. Because if they're really hard and stick straight, that's going to put too much pressure into your client's spine, and it's not what we're trying to achieve. So nice, soft, elbows out, and your thumbs are not supporting too much weight. So Christine, how much pressure am I adding to your spine?
Not very much.
Not very much. Mm-hmm. Medium to light. And as I sink my thumb in between each vertebra, I'm just waiting for that tissue to move away from my thumb. I'm not the one moving it. So once I reach the sacrum, I'll do a little traction down towards the floor. So with my body mechanics, my spine is directly lined up with hers. My hara is pointed at my thumbs. And then when I want to traction that last few vertebrae down towards the floor, I just lean into it. And then my thumb just go down. And then I just start the climb back up. So this is just going to offer a little bit of breath and movement and very, very small flexion in the spine that might have been holding up the head all day. A lot of our corporate clients often sit on their tailbones as well. So this is a really good release for that posture. Okay, and then once you get back up to the base of the neck, take both, so with your soft fingers, you don't want to grab. Soft fingers, I'm not grabbing the tissue, I'm just kind of peeling it back this way. If you do something like this, that could be a little claustrophobic for your client. So bring the traps back this way, just with my body weight, and then lean into it, and just move. And then I wiggle my body to send a deep jostling motion into her spine. And I go all the way up to the base of the skull. Depending on how much time you have, you can do one thumb at a time. You can do a few strokes up, just depending on how much time you have for the session. But this is a really, really, really good one. Okay, so now I'm just gonna move her hair. I'm gonna be on top of her hair. So now I'm here. So there's that little bump right here on her skull. That's the spot that I stop at. And then from there, I just kind of sink my thumbs into that little soft spot right under that little bump. And then the circular motions I'm doing with my thumbs aren't with the thumb joints. It's with me leaning in, with my hara, with my spine, and backing off. So the trick with the tension headache is you don't want tension in your own joints. If you have tension in your joints, you're just going to transmit tension into their heads. If you're being too pokey with this, it's just going to be counterproductive. So I will even imagine that my thumbs are like really wide, that there isn't a bone in there, that they're just really soft. And then the joint right below them has absolutely no tension in it. And the movement is coming from my spine, not from my joints. And as you can see, I'm also putting a little pressure down here on the traps, just kind of that extra little something something. And you might find something that feels like some compromised tissue, something that feels a little stressed. So once you do, a little friction. Just all around it. Very light, medium to light pressure. Tension headache does not need tons of pressure. So I'll work out these little occipital muscles. And I'm just doing this on top of her hair so you guys can see, but you should do it under the hair. Another good thing to know is if your client does say that they have a headache, you might want to say, okay, do you mind if I do a scalp massage then? And this isn't technically scalp massage, but it is in their hair and they might not appreciate it. You also do not want to use any lotion. The reason you wouldn't want to use lotion or oils is because A, they might not appreciate it, and you can't grip and feel the tissue as you are moving. You'll just slide around on it. And the point to this is to kind of tease the tissue loose from being kind of tense and tight. With that forward head posture, these little occipitals are very shortened, crunched short. Okay, so once you've gotten from that little process right here, and the name of it is escaping me, the mastoid process right here, once you've reached that end, then go above and around the ears. Same thing, just little circular motions moving from your spine. And then you're gonna feel a little lumpy thing, and that's tissue that's just kind of bunched up. So go ahead and tease it loose. Very little pressure. And just grab it and pull it away from where it was with your sticky fingers, not with any sort of grip. Okay, so that's how to kind of loosen up the back. You could also do just some petrissage on the side of the neck, a little breaking. But again, my finger pressure is very, very light. The only thing that's gripping that is just the stickiness of my finger pads there. Okay, so you do that to either side. Just break up each side of the neck meat on either side of the spine. So I'm just kind of doing this breaking motion. And my elbow up here in the air, I'm trying to accommodate the camera view, but you don't want your elbow up here because you're transmitting tension into your own neck. So put it back down, move to where you need to move, and continue. Check in with yourself constantly. Okay, so once that's all nice and released, you would have your client sit up. Oops, go ahead and sit back for me. Place your hands on the chest piece to support. Okay, and this is how you'd work on the front of their neck. I like to throw in a tiny little jaw massage here. Again, no oil, no lotion. Nobody appreciates that on their face in the middle of work. And just along the ridge of the jaw, just tease that skin loose. Okay, so then once that's done, I get my fingertips right on either side of that pointy part of the jaw, just right underneath it, not up inside, just right underneath it. This is a very, very tender point. This does not need to be messed with. So just right up underneath the jaw like this, I get my fingertips, the very tips of my fingers away from my nails, and then I just give it a little tiny bit of pressure just so I have hold of them, and then I say, do you feel like I'm choking you at all? No. No, feel okay? All right, so what I want you to do is look down at your lap and then back up to the ceiling. And as she looks up to the ceiling, my fingers are combing her scalenes and her SCM, and then look back down. Now you could also do this with your breath. When you look down, breathe in. When you look up, breathe out, or vice versa. And it would maybe be, and with your next inhale, look down. And that, depending on the length of someone's neck, it might be 3 breaths. Okay, now that I'm at her collarbone, just say, now just look at the horizon, and then you would just kind of sit right here in the collarbone. And again, just make sure the client doesn't feel like you're suffocating them or cutting off circulation. And you just sit here until that SCM, scalene attachments just kind of melt. And you can wiggle your own body around to give it a little bit of motion, but I wouldn't be in here kneading that, because they can get really sensitive and hang on even tighter if that's what you do. So really nice, really slow, gentle, gentle. And once those kind of melt and give in, you can do the collarbone. And this, I just pull the tissue back and forth. No pressure in or down. And then your thumbs in the back can be doing a little massage on the upper traps at the same time. And I like to bring the tissue into the neck, kind of to support the cervical spine. Just pull that tissue in and then kind of stretch it out. So that in and back. Okay. Okay. So once you've got that all done, you can do some more scalp stuff. So I like to grab the hair from the ears and just get a really loose grip if the person has hair, and just kind of put a little weight into your fists. And this will, and one at a time, not both at the same time, one at a time. So I'm gripping the hair, I'm just kind of tightening my grip, and that's pulling the hair away from the parietal bones. And if you feel any hair in your grip that's a little stressed, you can feel that and you can loosen it up. Do you feel like any of your hair is being pulled uncomfortably?
No.
Okay, and check in. So all I'm doing is just barely tightening my grip, and I'm feeling the hair and the scalp kind of melt away from the parietal bone. So once that side's done, I'll do the other side. That side feel okay?
That's good.
And then maybe a little squish there, here and there. Okay, so then I widen my stance. I get my the palms of my hands up underneath the ridge of the occiput, and then I push the ground away. I'm not actually squeezing her head and pulling her head off of her spine. I'm just putting a little pressure right here on either side, and I've got my fingertips on her parietal bones, and then I use my feet and I push the ground away from me. And that just gives a teeny bit of traction to her head. And then the magic happens when I just wiggle my spine. And then her spine starts to wiggle. It's a very deep wiggle. It's not anything really extreme. My movement translates the movement into my hands, which then translates the movement into her spine. And scene.
Welcome to part 2 of my Q&A. Thanks for all the questions. I'll try my best to answer them as good as I can. When will you release an album of original music? I'm currently working on an album and hopefully we'll get it done soon. Hello Emily, do you think you could persuade your mom to do an updated cover of No Frontiers? I would love that, but my mom prefers to stay in the background. What do you study? I study maths, Spanish. I love Spanish, by the way. I do English, science, history. What's my ambition? Music is my ambition. Were you born and raised in Dubai? Yes, I was born and raised in Dubai. Do you plan on traveling to the United States in the future playing your music? That would be a dream for me because the United States is a brilliant place to be for music. What musical instrument do you play the best? I would say I'm better on the piano than the guitar. What's your favorite game? I love Mario Bros. How do you decide on what songs you choose to do for your weekly recordings? Normally I like to do a lot of the old music because they're very melodic and they've got brilliant chords. And not only that, but my fans suggest really good songs, so I'm really lucky to have you guys. Do you play classical music, piano, ? I do play some classical music. I like to change my style, so I'm not only doing classical music, but I'm also doing a bit of rock, a bit of pop. I really like changing my genre. How often do you work out? I work out every day, but I like to change how hard I work out every day. So one day I'd be walking on the running machine for about an hour, uphill like this, really steep, and then I would do one day where I'd be running really hard so I get my heart rate up like crazy. So I'd like to change and vary my training because that's really important for fitness. How about a song in Portuguese? Maybe one day. How many guitars do you have? I would say, I'm not sure because I haven't actually counted how many guitars I have. Well, this is my first ever guitar that I owned. Who wouldn't love the first guitar? Also, Enya Music gave me their guitar. It's a pink one. I love pink. Do you speak French? No. Honestly, I really love the French language. Have you ever been addicted to chocolate cakes? Well, I actually do have a chocolate allergy. And some people say you're really lucky to have an allergy to chocolate because once you get a taste for chocolate, it's an addiction. What is your favorite Harry Styles song to sing? I think Falling is my absolute favorite because it's just so beautiful. The piano playing is beautiful. The singing is beautiful. I love it. And it's a challenge to sing because of that high note in the song. But I love songs that challenge you. Who are your favorite singers? Well, my favorite singer is Whitney Houston. I said that on my last Q&A. But my other favorite singers are Dolly Parton, Kelly Clarkson, definitely Kelly Clarkson, Christina Aguilera, Beyonce, Shakira. Okay, my favorite male singers are Harry Styles, Andrea Bocelli, John Mayer, Ed Sheeran. I think that's it for male singers. I don't know, I like too many singers. What kind of dreams do you have for the future? I really want to just put as many albums out as I can and make it as a famous artist. I want to get so famous that I'm going to have to wear these sunglasses because the light shines so bright on me every time someone takes a picture. Okay, that was interesting. How many languages do you speak? Let's think. I speak Norwegian and a little bit of Spanish. Where did you get your parrot? I am so lucky that I actually found Rocky when I did at the time, because I think if we didn't rescue him, he would have died. It was that serious. He looked so weak and malnourished. I even wrote a song about him because I love him so much. And to me, he's a warrior. Will you ever go on tour? At least I hope so. Are you going to try out for American Idol? I don't think I'm ready for something like that yet, but if I did get asked, I would definitely consider it. Did you do a Rolling Stones song? Yeah, I actually did Wild Horses when I was really young, and I'm a huge fan of them. I have a t-shirt, and I listen to their music a lot. I'm going to answer one more question, and this one's from Brad Taggart. Did you know that Highly Combustible will be doing an online reaction today of your cover, Vincent? Wow, I did not know that, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm so glad that people like him actually do make reactions of my covers. It means a lot to me. Rocky, say hi. Hello. That's his way of greeting people. It's okay. Hi, welcome to my first Q&A. Today I'm gonna try my best to answer as many questions as I can. There's so many questions, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. We'll give it a go. Hi Emily, what are your favorite instruments? That is a really tricky question because I love the guitar and the piano, and I can't choose. Both of them are my favorite. What instrument of music do you use to play? The piano and the guitar. How are you? I'm good, I'm so good, and hopefully you guys are too. How old are you? Well, I'm 15 and that's my parrot over there. Anyway, I am actually 15 years old, and by the end of the year I'll be 16. So I'm super excited for my sweet 16. How tall are you? I'm probably around 5'4". Do you have a boyfriend? Oh my god, no. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I do, and his name begins with an R and ends with a Y. And he's probably about this size, maybe this size. Yeah, like this size. This is my boyfriend. He doesn't kiss. How often do you love to sing? I sing all the time. Will you make an album of original songs? I really want to make an album in the future. That is my dream, and hopefully it'll be really successful. If you weren't going to be a musician, what would you like to be? That is a tricky question because I don't normally think about that. But if I was not going to be a musician, I'd probably want to be like a tennis player, or I'd go for something creative that's related to music. I think that would be really cool. Next question. Oh my god, Rocky. Wait. You are very talented. I listen to you almost every day. Clap emoji. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad that you listen to me. It means a lot. How many languages do you know? I do know a little bit of Spanish. I do know a lot of Norwegian, and I'm very fluent in English. You're so pretty and have a really nice voice. May I know who's your favorite singer? Whitney Houston. For me, Whitney Houston is my favorite singer. She can do basically anything with her voice. The sun is beautiful. You are a beautiful lady. Oh my god, that's such a cute comment. Do you do concerts in Dubai? Well, I really want to do more concerts here, but I haven't gotten the opportunity to do any concert really. I want to do some though, because I want to get some experience performing live. It'd be a great thing for me to do. Any dream country you haven't been in but really want to travel to? I really want to travel to Malibu because it's so beautiful there. Do you have a personal favorite Coldplay song? Also say hi to Rocky for me. See, someone likes you, Rocky. Yeah, I'd say Fix You is my favorite Coldplay song. I just love how it builds up and it's so meaningful, the lyrics. Oh my god, you have a boyfriend! Oh my god, look at this. You have a boyfriend. Just wanted to say you're incredible and you should be proud of your achievements. That's so nice. I love it when people give me nice comments like that. So I'm really grateful for you guys to say that. Dog or cat have? Basically, do I have a dog or cat? I have a parrot and he's over here. I don't have a dog or a cat, but maybe in the future. Are you single? Yes, I'm single. How much money do you get from YouTube every month? Not enough. Do you do concerts in Dubai? The same comment. I wish I could do some more concerts. Let's see. What are your plans for college? Will you pursue a degree in music production? I really don't know yet what I'm gonna do in college because it depends. If I really make it in music, I think I can just make a living from that, which is what I really hope to do. But if I do end up going to college, I'd probably choose something like, I'd probably pursue a degree in music production because that's related to music. Okay. How old is Rocky? You're probably 6? You're probably 6 years old, right? Ow, okay, he's offended. He's not 6. 10, is that better? 11, 12, 13, 14? He's about 7 years old. I can imagine nearly 8. Hi Emily, sorry I am not present often on YouTube. I don't remember, but did you try a French song? No, I have never tried a French song, but that's something for me to do in the future. Sing a romantic song from the 50s and 60s for us. Okay, I'll learn one. What country are your parents from? Wait a second, Rocky. So my mom, she's from the UK and my dad is Norwegian. So I'm half Norwegian and half English. Can you make another cover in Spanish? Everyone wants a cover in Spanish. I can learn another Spanish song. I love Spanish. Hi Emily, you're very beautiful and talented. Sing a Tears for Fears song, please. I never heard of that song, but I'll Google it and see what it is. Du är så fin. Kläm från Mia. Oh, that's my cousin. She's so cute and I love her. Her name is Mia. Are you single? Oh my god, not this comment again. Will you ever come to the USA? We'd be honored to have you. Yeah, I'd really love to go to the USA, and I have been in Florida before on holiday, but I'd like to go more to America and hopefully have some concerts there in the future. Will you travel to Oslo? Yeah, actually I'm going to travel there soon, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's see, who else made a comment? Music career, tennis career, modeling career, or all of the above. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Music, sports, and tennis, that's just amazing. What genre, style, or music will your first album be? Definitely pop. I really like pop music. Something that's a little bit upbeat and definitely something that's melodic and catchy. How old were you when you first started singing? 3. What is your favorite song? I have so many songs that I really like. I would say my favorite song is Wicked Game because I actually just covered it on my YouTube channel and it's just a brilliant song. I'm sorry, I'll give you some attention afterwards. How many years have you been playing the piano? I would say I've been playing the piano for about 5 years. Your brothers also sing? Yes. But my 2 older brothers, they sing all the time. Oh my god, Rocky, stop. Have you ever thought about selling autographed merch? Yeah, I would really love doing that in the future. Send a hug to Brazil, I admire you. Probably meant send a hug from send us. What? What? I don't understand this. Anyway, I'm just gonna go to the next question. How long have you been playing piano? I think I already answered that question. Music and vocal training since 14 to 15. I've been training my voice more and doing scales on my own and trying to get better vocally. Rocky, what is your deal? What is your deal? Your top 5 songs from the Carpenters. I would say, I think my favorite Carpenters song is I'll Say Goodbye to Love. I think I'm going to take a little break from all your questions. Thanks so much for coming to our Q&A and I'll see you in part 2. Bye.
When this began, I had nothing to say.